This video series is sponsored by Black Wall Street, the board game. Real people, real businesses, real possibilities. Join our Facebook group for updates and sales promotions. Check out our website, trueforever.com. Hit the tab, Black Wall Street, the board game. Real people, real businesses, real possibilities.
Welcome back, y'all. Devon Walker, DreamCatchers, episode 7. And we got an esteemed guest. I always like actually when I do family members. I feel like it ends up being better interviews. But long story short, we have brother Markell Johnson joining us for the DreamCatchers episode 7. So this is introduce yourself, who you are, and what you're representing in this interview.
My name is Markell Johnson. I am a graduating senior for neurobiology, physiology, and behavior, and a double major in sociology. And today I'll just be representing my dreams, which go far, but you know what I'm saying? It's all about if I can make them happen.
It is. So this is going to be also pretty interesting because me and Mr. Johnson talk about this kind of stuff all the time. But really it's about exposing his dream to the world, and hopefully he can have some wisdom for y'all as well. He's a big dreamer. He's been able to accomplish a lot, so if he can drop some nuggets of wisdom, no pressure. All pressure. So can we start off with the big dream? What is it that you're trying to accomplish?
So basically what I want to do is some type of boarding school-ish project where we bring in foster youth or even troubled youth and put them in a place where they can actually achieve and not where they're looked down at as because of their background or past.
Okay. And is there a reason that you're choosing this group of students?
I feel like myself, I personally can relate as a former foster youth and a troubled youth. I was a good kid, but you know what I'm saying, we all have our troubles. I feel like I can relate to them, therefore I would be able to help them best.
Basically trying to help the students, the people that come from the same background that you come from.
Exactly.
Okay. Can you talk about where you grew up?
I grew up for the most part in Sacramento, although I have moved from place to place. South Sacramento to be exact. You know, and there are not many opportunities. When I didn't even really hear about college until my senior year. My freshman year, our principal talked about it once and said, if you do bad in freshman year, you won't go to college. That stuck with me.
False.
It is false.
False.
But it stuck with me. That's the first time I heard about college, and I did not hear about it again until my counselor talked about it my senior year.
So I heard coming from Sacramento, you either work for the state or you go to prison as your two options.
Or you die.
Or you die. There's 3 options.
3.
Okay. So you feel like that's kind of true?
That's facts. You're gonna be in the state capitol, or you're gonna be in the state capitol. You know what I'm saying? Like in a different way. That's facts. Most of the people, especially from where I grew up, are literally in jail or literally dead. And there's a couple people who work within, work labor, wages. Although there's money to be made, people aren't making it.
So can you talk about how yourself, you've been able to kind of break that mold of those 3 options? Because currently you're at UC Davis, about to graduate. Can you talk about maybe your journey in these, was it 4 or 5? How many years? 5 years? Hey man, the best student 5. Don't graduate in 4 if you can. But can you talk about maybe how you breaking that mold and the actions you've taken to make sure that you don't end up dead in jail? Or, working for the government isn't terrible, but
but you don't want to live check to check.
Facts.
So my thing is definitely, I have a lot of siblings, 9 to be exact. And it was really, my mom was on my behind the whole time. Like, you're gonna do this, you're this, since I was young, so it's basically ingrained. And I know that's probably a lot of kids, like their mom tell you this and that. But when you watch somebody just do so much negative, detrimental stuff, my dad, you know what I'm saying, it like pushes you to do positive things. So when you see, most of the time the negativity around you sucks you in, and then you're also negative as well. Which, you know what I'm saying, I've done some bad things because of the negative around me, but I've never done anything to place me in a position where I can't progress. So basically, by seeing all the negativity around myself, I use that as positive reinforcement. Like, I'm not gonna do these things, and instead, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna go to class and not skip class, or I'm not gonna get suspended for fighting, things like that. Using those things to push myself forward. Yeah, college was just like, it was not even in the question. So since that was a mystery, you know what I'm saying, I was like, let me get in there. And within the 5 years of me being here, it was definitely difficult because I didn't know a lot of the way that the water flowed. Like, I had to figure out some stuff through other people versus some people who get to college and they're just like, oh yeah, my parents told me about, like, you know what I'm saying, if I need tutoring, I can go get tutoring at this place. Or if I'm in this situation with SJA and they're saying I'm cheating, I can just, you know,
SJA is
Student Judicial Affairs. I can just call up my people and be like, you know, Dad, I have this problem. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna come through. You know what I'm saying? Those are avenues that some of us are not necessarily a pro at. You know what I'm saying? And going through college, I learned that I need to touch some of these avenues by meeting people who kind of have already been through the same thing as myself.
Gotcha. So kind of along that lines about talking about resources. So you said some people have their parents as resources.
Right.
What are some resources that you used in your 4 or 5 year journey throughout college? But also, what resources do you plan to use just for success in general?
Pause.
You can pause it. Who's coming in? Who's coming in? Oh, it's on the power! I'm already keeping this in the interview. It's on the power! I got an interview someday too, sir. Huh? I got an interview for DreamCatchers someday.
Yes, sir.
Alright, cool. How was your trip, soccer? Tired, okay. On the power, future professional soccer player. He's gonna be on maybe season 2 of DreamCatchers.
Yeah, okay.
Nice. Alright. Yeah, we'll catch up with you later, sir.
Professionals handle business.
Yes, sir. So we were talking about resources. We'll wait for this man to stop stomping on the ground. Alright. Yeah, resources that you've used to be successful in college, but also maybe that are helping you work towards your goal of helping the foster youth.
So as far as the foster youth, one of the things that I figured out late was the Guardian Scholars Program. Not that late, my 3rd year.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Once I was back 100% integrated, I figured out about the Guardian Scholars Program, who pay for your summer, who also, they'll plug you on the academic scholarship, you know, so you don't have loans, that many loans, you know, things like that. And they plug you with other students who have been through that. That actually would touch me to kind of get in touch with the foster youth. Definitely Phi Beta Sigma, of course, plugged me into being able to just help the community more in touch. You know, you can run around, you can join BSU, or you know what I'm saying, things like that. But if you want to actually touch the community personally, you know what I'm saying, that's definitely what brought me there. Bring me in touch with major social networks. It's like Walter Robinson, who's Chancellor of Admissions. You know what I'm saying? He's the one who basically controls who gets into UC Davis. You know what I'm saying? Just meeting with professionals like that, that also kind of pushes me ahead to kind of see. And Walter Robinson plugged me in with the UC Davis Med School, like the one black head. You know what I'm saying? So he's seen my application. So shout out to that.
And did you get in?
Yeah, I got in.
You got into med school, just saying. Okay, and then flip side of that coin, obstacles. So things that have gotten in your way from trying to graduate from UC Davis, or things that you feel are going to get in your way in the future as you try to help the foster youth, you try to educate folks.
Easy call. So I feel like advisors are sometimes detrimental because this is facts. I went to my advisor last quarter. She was like, "You're good to go. You have all your classes set up and everything's good." I went to my advisor this quarter. She's like, "You need one class that you have to take for the summer." And I was like, "Wow." So I feel like sometimes your advisors can definitely lead you off course. They tell you that you're supposed to do this, this, and that, and then someone else tells you that, oh, your advisor missed this. So I feel like it's important for maybe you need to see multiple advisors in the quarters, things like that. Definitely obstacles. You know, just being black on campus. There's barely any other black people, and if something happens, you are automatically blamed. It's your fault. You did it. Even if the odds are stacked against the other person, if you're black, you did it. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely an obstacle. You know what I'm saying? Just all around navigating to get to to the end goal, which is to graduate right now. And I feel like on top of that, when I get into this real world, establishing what I want to do is going to be 17 times harder, just because it's like, all right, so we have this black man who is from Sacramento who wants to do this, but like, why does he want to do this? Like, what is his goals? Like, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. And there's such a negative stigma around people, adults and kids. So like, that as well.
Yeah, you definitely got to build up that trust. I think even with parents too. I feel like even as a black man, trust me with your kids. As you said, boarding school. Trust me with your kids. Away from everything safety.
Right.
But another kind of hurdle with the dealing with the foster youth is you got to get the trust of maybe the social worker who would have to sign off.
Yeah.
Government.
Yeah.
So I think that might even be a little bit harder than parents.
Right. Because you got to go through. You have to have the built up trust for them to be able to be like, all right, we'll give you these 30 kids so that you can run this school, basically.
Interesting. Okay. So talk about obstacles and resources. Skills or talent expression. I remember meeting you way back in the day, like 5.5, 6 years ago. And since then, you've developed a lot of talents. Can you maybe go down the long list, or maybe just the ones that you like just really proud of, or things that you feel like you're good at, or things that you think will be useful for you in the future?
Definitely. So as far as talents, I'm a graphic designer on the side, you know. So I do my little thing, flyers, covers, everything from you know what I'm saying, under the sun. I do videography, just a little bit.
Sir, you could have been editing these the whole time.
That's just started in fall of 2017. I had a class, and you know what I'm saying, they taught me. So now for every one of my classes, I'm like, if there's an option to do a video for the final, I'm like, yeah, I got you. I'm doing it. So definitely that. I produce music, mix and master, things like that. I play the piano, guitar, a little bit of the drums. I'm not that good. You know, I just like to touch everything. You know, I can paint, I can draw. Just anything that has a creative mindset or output, I just want to touch it and be able to see what I can do in that arena.
Okay. So with trying to start the school, which talent that you have or that you need to develop do you think would be the most useful for that goal?
I feel like not necessarily a talent, but just a necessary, a strength. It's just I'm a leader, so it's like when I get into a position, I understand that leaders are learners. So as a leader, you have to be able to learn from, you know what I'm saying, your followers or the people who are right there next to you in order to lead correctly. You have to know your personnel. The people you're dealing with, or the kids, or the staff, or the parents, you have to know them as individuals versus just these are the parents. Like I need to be like, oh, that's Mr. Johannesson, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. So that I can understand how to navigate people, therefore they'll understand like, wow, okay, that's Mr. Johnson right there. He knows what he's doing in his position. And that way that I can build that trust through me showing my leadership.
There you go. That's at least one nugget. Leaders are learners. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Leaders are learners. Note that down. So getting a little bit specific with what you want to happen at the end of 2018, what are some goals that you have? And they can be very specific to the boarding school, working with foster youth. Mm-hmm. They can be specific to your graphic designing career, passion. Just, you know, by the end of this year, what is it that you want to have happen?
Okay, so in the upcoming fall, I'll be doing an internship at the med school because you know what I'm saying, I got into med school, but right now I don't know if that's what I want to do. So I'm still figuring out navigating. So by the end of 2018, I want to know what I want to do. That's facts. I need to know what is this path that I'm going on first and foremost, and then as far as once I figure that out, my business, I need a game plan of some type of layout or format of what I'm going to do in order to create this boarding school, or if I choose not to do that. But my goal at the end of 2018 2018 is to have goals for 2019, basically.
Okay.
But you know, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be famous, so that's what happens.
Man, I had another person over here that said by the end of 2018, they want to be sipping Ciroc with Diddy.
That's a big goal.
That's a huge goal, and I applauded it. And yeah, I hope that happens for y'all.
Yeah.
But something that I think is cool that you said was you were very honest in saying that you don't know what you want to do yet.
Right.
You know, it's very open. You know you're gonna be famous somehow, but you don't know what it is that you want to do. Why is that important for yourself, and just for whoever might be watching? Why is it important to figure out what you want to do and not just do what people think you should do?
That's my life. My whole life has been people telling me what I should do. AKA my mom. You're gonna be a doctor. You're gonna be a doctor. You're gonna be a doctor. It wasn't until I finished my NPB major, neurobiology, physiology, and behavior major last year, and I could have been gone probably without doing this sociology major. But it was her just telling me you're gonna be a doctor, and then once I got into where I could be like my own thinking space and be like, well, is that really what I want to do? It allowed me to be a free thinker versus letting someone else think for me and basically plan out my path. Because at the end of the day, you have to do what makes you happy, not what makes someone else happy. And sometimes if you do what makes you happy, you can make other people happy. So that's really what it is. You can satisfy everybody else, but at the end of the day, if you're not satisfied, there's something wrong. If you're sitting in a job that you don't like, there's something wrong. So that's really it. You have to make sure that you set the goals for stuff that you want to make happen for yourself. If yourself is making everybody else happy, or for sure, if that's for yourself, then you can go ahead and make it happen. But at the end of the day, if you're not doing what makes you good, it's not gonna be good.
So at this point, what do you think it is that makes you happy, that makes you good?
I don't know. Overall, I just like helping. I like helping other people. That's probably why I'm in the position I'm in right now to even start this boarding school. I just want to set it up to make the world a better place at the end of the day. And regardless of what that is, like if somebody dropped $1 million to me right now, I would do something in order to make a change somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't just go blow it on some cars and stuff. You know, I might buy one car. You know what I'm saying?
One foreign.
But at the end of the day, I would use that to build something, which first of all will let my money make itself, and then second of all would help somebody else.
Yeah. You gotta think about it. All right. You get $1 million. What are you gonna do with that to keep flipping that money?
Exactly, because people think like this. Well, I'll go buy my mama a house. All right, for sure, that's cool. But you know what I'm saying? You can go buy your mama some land.
Nuggets.
She can make her own house. You feel me? She can get her own house built up, which will cost less than buying a house. And you know what I'm saying? Then that's your land. Never own. You feel me?
Like facts. Just saying. So we got two last things. One, visualization exercise, and then two, all your shout outs, social medias, where they can find you and all that good stuff. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So visualization exercise does involve trust, which we got 5 minutes in. So if I can get you to go ahead and close your eyes for me, please. We're gonna take a few deep breath in, deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out. One last time, in, out. So I want you to start off by visualizing your childhood. Your 9 siblings, just visualize kind of the path that you all have been on together, your ups and your downs. And I want you to visualize when you got accepted into UC Davis, how you shared that with your friends, your mom, your siblings, and how everyone felt that you were going to UC Davis. And then imagine the day that you became president of your chapter. You are now the leader of an organization. You have your behind you, next to you, and you're all moving towards a common goal. And now I want you to kind of visualize your progression with graphic designing. Visualize your first design and how your improvements into now and starting your own graphic design company. Now taking your passion, taking your leadership skills, your graphic designing skills, your ability and commitment to helping others, and it's the end of 2018 and you figured out what you want to do. It might be a boarding school, it might become a social worker, it might be starting your own business, whatever it is for you, you figured out your why, your purpose. And once you have that purpose in your head, visualize what 10 years from now looks like for you. What has Markell Johnson done to better the world? Why is Markell Johnson famous? Who have you impacted? Who have you saved? Okay, go ahead and open your eyes for me, sir. So, go ahead and take us through your journey. What did that feel like for you? Yeah, go ahead.
From what? From the childhood?
Childhood, yes, sir.
So yeah, the memory that hit me was when my mom basically told me like, "Oh, I'm having another kid," and we were just all like, "Man, you already had baby." That's what was in my head when she was telling us she was having my youngest sister, who was the 9th child, and then from there, it went straight to decision day. When I met this gentleman right here, it went straight to there. And I was thinking about when I got accepted and how all the parents at the PTA meetings were just like, how did you get accepted? They only got you because you're black. What is your SAT score? You cheated. All this stuff. That's what went through my head, and the fact that I was just like, y'all kid didn't get in.
Right.
That's why you're mad. So that definitely touched me. And then from there, being the president is just, it's crazy. Cause it's like, who would have knew? You know what I'm saying?
I knew.
It was like I jumped in and was just like, oh, all right, for sure. You're here. You're already there. I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? I was just a lowly treasurer chilling. And then from there it was like, damn, now it's 19 human beings who are just like looking at me like, all right, hey, what are we supposed to do? Or can you show us how you did this, or how we even got to this level? And then on top of that, from there, thinking about graphic design and how garbage I was when I started in 11th grade. I made my first thing. I only made one thing in 11th grade, one thing in 12th grade. How just garbage I was, you know, even to my freshman year when I was making flyers for people, or graphics, just completely garbage, just stealing stuff off the internet. Like, all right, so let me just change this a little bit. To eventually being able to, you know, just have my own like image and brand and logo and all that. Because at first I was like, what am I about to, what is this name, all this stuff, to bringing that into now my creative mindset to create something such as a boarding school, or such as a different way to do these social work that some people don't even understand. You have people who just jump into social work because they think that's what they want to do, but they don't understand the people that they're working with. So that in 10 years, like, it needs to be like that guy understood who he was dealing with. And this is why he's here, because he was able to help these individuals understand as well. You know what I'm saying? The workers who are going to be under me or whoever are going to need to understand the individuals that they're dealing with, because most of the individuals are misunderstood. Most of the kids or the foster youth or the underrepresented, underprivileged kids are misunderstood, which is why most of the time they get in trouble in schools. the teachers don't really understand how to deal with them, and they don't really understand how to deal with themselves. So often they portray this negativity.
Right.
So that's what I see, just being able to be like, wow, that guy understood, and that's why he helped all these people.
Beautiful stuff. Do you have any other nuggets of wisdom before you can shout out? Like you can tell, let's see, ninth grade Markell. Ninth grade Markell, you know, you see him on the street and you walk by him, you can stop and say something. What would you say to him?
I would say, don't be a sheep. Do not be a sheep, because if you're a sheep, you will follow the wrong path. And you can't create your own path. As a sheep, you follow the group. We all go this way, we all go that way. But when you make your own path, people will naturally follow you. Especially if it's on to a good route. So don't be a sheep. That's what I would have told myself. Because that right there, that's what sometimes when I outreach to the kids on Fridays or things like that, I'm just like, make sure that regardless of the negativity that's around you, you can still see your goal or follow yourself. Because when you lose yourself, it's like, you get lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
You don't want to get lost in the sauce.
Don't get lost in the sauce, y'all. Don't get lost in the sauce. All right, so shout outs, you know, the pages they can find you at, what is your brand, all that good stuff. Boom.
So yeah, definitely follow my Instagram. It's your MF and neck, YOURMFINNECX. Follow that. So you can follow Rare Graphics on Twitter in like 2 months. Rare_GFX. It's live, but it's not live yet, so don't follow. And then you can follow UCD Sigmas, you know what I'm saying? That's the cool little page. If y'all want to see our daily service, slide in there. Other than that, we're going.
Stay true. Easy work. Easy work.